What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this presentation that we'll be covering the best vehicle for growth, 3 insider secrets to grow your brand. And so what's brand marketing? It's a pretty big common question. And do I really need it to grow my business? And I'm going to tell you right now that you definitely do need it. And you might be asking yourself too, is like, who is this going to be for? What this information will be covering? Who's going to be learning from this? So current business owners, future business owners, franchise brands and businesses, companies looking to grow. And if you're a company that's actually helping other brands and companies to grow as well too, this is going to be great information for you. A little bit of myself. My name is Javier Lozano Jr. I'm a two-time CMO. I'm currently the CMO of Wrapmate. And I've started and sold a company in the past before. I'm a podcast host. I'm a #1 best-selling author and also a former world champion athlete. And so I'm going to be showing you how to generate higher quality leads and more revenue, because that's how you grow with brand marketing. So 3 things I'll be covering today are going to be these 3 insider secrets that you'll be learning. #1 is the truth about branding and how to get your future customers to know, like, and trust you. The truth about marketing and how to ethically market your business without feeling icky. Yes, I said icky. And then the truth about paid ads and how to track, measure, and guarantee an ROI in your advertising, which is something that we all want. So the first truth that we're going to kind of go over, the first secret is going to be the truth about branding and how to get future customers to know, like, and trust you. So times are changing, and you got to ask yourself, is your marketing strategy sustainable? You might have actually heard of this small company called Airbnb. They shifted their marketing strategy, which is kind of unique, where they went from a paid acquisition, so running ads on like Facebook and social media and Google, to branding. Okay. And then the last 3 months of 2020, 90% of their traffic came from direct or unpaid. So they weren't spending any money in that area. And so big companies are beginning to make this humongous shift into brand marketing. Now, most people think that branding is like the company color or the company logo or your website or company colors or the call to action placement that you have on your website or the color of the buttons and stuff like that, or maybe even like types of emails. And none of that's true. Actually, the truth is that branding is your reputation. And I have The Rock here because we all know that he has a very strong reputation. He's very active on social media. He's out there with his kids doing some really just fun stuff. And so you really want to think about your branding as what people think about you. And so ask yourself this: how strong are some of these brands that I have here? Apple. We've all heard of this company. They were running some ads back in the day where they were comparing Apple products and PC products, and they had, like, a person that was playing Apple and a person that was playing PC. And they basically started creating this brand affinity where people were really relating and standing up and believing in everything that they were doing. And to the point now, like myself, I've been an Apple user for over 15 years. I've got every Apple product that you can imagine. Our company also uses Apple products. So they have a very strong reputation if you think about this. Or even Chick-fil-A. This is the only fast food restaurant that I'll take my kids and my family to. Why? Because they figured out how to get 16, 17, and 18-year-old kids to say, my pleasure, to open the door, to take care of you, to make your dining experience like you actually paid like a 5-star Michelin restaurant. And so it's quite a different experience that they've actually created. And this is kind of one of those things that their reputation, their brand, is really strong. And so the #1 way to grow your brand, your reputation, is through content. And so a shift to brand will help your future customers to know, like, and trust you. And so the first secret I want to kind of reveal to you is something that we just simple is online reviews. The reason why I love online reviews is that it builds trust. People start learning more about you because they read these online reviews from third-party people, okay, that are reviewing your product or service. And this is really paramount and important when it comes to growing your business, okay? It also gives you some little bit of SEO juice. So Google's made it very clear that if you start growing your online reviews or you get more and more 5-star reviews, they will start increasing your rankings on the social media, on their platform on Google. And they've made it very clear on that. And this is basically free traffic that you're getting, which is amazing. It gives you higher qualified leads. Think about this. The buying journey today is not the same what it was like 5 years ago or 10 years ago, where they saw an ad and they just buy from you. Now people are looking at your website, your social media, reading your reviews. They're doing all this research. Once they start getting to your reviews, trust me, they've actually qualified themselves that they are the perfect customer to buy your product or service. It's also been proven that it also increases revenue. So if you're able to actually increase your star rating from, say, like a 3 to a 4-star or a 4-star to a 5-star, just 1 star rating increase, you could increase your revenue by as much as 9%. Think about this. If you're making $1 million in a year, you just added an extra $90,000 to your bottom line by simply just having better reviews on your about your product or your business. And the last piece is that also levels you up in the community. This is a great way to actually start kind of make yourself stand out from your competition and everybody else out there. When I came on board at Wrapmate last year, around February, we had like 5 or 6 reviews, I believe. Not a lot. And in that time frame, this is actually a little outdated on the right side. Is we're now at 110 reviews, and it's because we've been putting a very big focus on getting our customers to share their experience. And this is another way of building that trust, that reputation, where people are seeing what you're doing. They're like, "Wow, this is amazing." Another secret that I have here is this customer stories. What people essentially call as like, a testimony or a case study, but we like to make these really fun. And so customer stories are just like a customer's experience, okay? Just what they've, kind of, gone through in a sense. And so they're going to talk about what the problems that they were facing and then how you came in here and you solved those problems for them with your product or service and your solutions. And then the results that they were able to achieve using your product or services, and then that they recommend your company because you're amazing, except to their competitors, obviously. But these customer stories are third party stories that are going to increase your reputation, your brand, and it's going to help kind of really solidify yourself as like an expert, if you will. A great example, once again, is Chick-fil-A. They have these really tear jerkers type, commercials where, they call them a true Chick-fil-A story. This little boy here on the left side, he had a heart transplant. He found out that the owner of the Chick-fil-A in his town actually also had a heart transplant as well too. And so Chick-fil-A learned about this and connected the two of them. And this was a great, heart moving moment where they share like that these Chick-fil-A owners, like they're true humans, or like this mom over here where she's like with 3 toddlers essentially going to Chick-fil-A and things are just upside down. But this grandma that works there is seeing this and just, goes out there and tries to help and just plays with the kids and stuff. These are great stories to share with your people out there. So they start kind of building an affinity to your brand. And so another one is going to be vehicle wraps. Something that you might really think about is that it makes your business look more professional. If you've already got a logoed hat and uniform and that sort of stuff, having a branded vehicle in front of someone's house looks way more professional than just a white windowless van. It's also marketing your business 24/7, 365. It's building awareness all over your community, and it also makes you look like you're everywhere. And these are some really sweet wraps that we've done over the past with SLE Green Energy, with Pet Butler, which is a great franchise partner, and that one painter. And then the Franchise Expo. This was like a 56-foot trailer, which is insane. This is enormous. But these are great ways to just really increase your brand, your reputation within your community, and just the nation at large, if you will. So secret number 2 we're going to dive into is the truth about marketing and how to ethically market your business without being icky. And I say that because a lot of people feel like marketing is kind of like this like bait and switch kind of approach, and it really doesn't have to be that way. So the myth is that in order to grow your business, you need to sell more. Well, the reality is that building a media company will help you sell more. And so a media company does 2 things. It creates an emotional connection. Again, think about Apple. People are really emotionally connected to their products, to their phones, their computers, that sort of stuff. And then it educates future customers. Again, think about Apple, how they educate their future customers on how to better use their products and why they can take better video and pictures and that sort of stuff. So when you think about positioning yourself as a media company, it really sets you apart. And so how do you build a media company in 2023? It's really easy to be quite honest. Well, first of all, you got to have a clean website. So we're just going to use our website as an example. Your eyes naturally go into what's called a Z pattern. So your eyes are going to go look at the logo where it says Wrapmate, and they will naturally gravitate to where it says get your exact price in the top right corner, and then naturally kind of go across at a Z pattern where it reads vehicle wraps designed, printed, and installed in Castle Rock. So this is dynamic, okay? So no matter what city you're in, it's always going to just kind of change. And then you know what the call to action is. It's a blue button. It says get your exact price. And then John, which is really his name, John, he's smiling. He basically looks like a normal home services type provider, and he's happy because he's got a really cool wrap behind him. And so when you see this, this is a great way of kind of starting that, building that media company for your business. Another one is to publish valuable content. What I love about this is that you're posting content that people actually are curious about. You're not just publishing stuff just because, it doesn't really sound like it's people aren't going to be that interested in what you're doing. What you're trying to do here is that you're just trying to publish content that people really want to learn and understand. And the goal here is to just put stuff out there that you're researching, like, oh, people have questions about these. Let's write a blog about this. Let's write about this as well, too. So these are great ways to just kind of educate people just by sharing more knowledge. And then also being active on social media. So social media is where you're not just posting stuff and then you just set it and forget it. You're posting and you're commenting. You're actually sharing with other people. You're going in there, commenting and thanking people and those sort of things. Like, this is a great way to actually humanize your brand, because again, we don't just, you don't want to be Wrapmate corporate, if you will. You want to be like a brand that people can relate to and be like, wow, these guys are really funny. They're entertaining. They're fun. These are the things that you want to do. So being active on social media is a great way of doing this. The other piece is also engaging with your audience. So when you engage with your audience, say like on reviews, this is another way of humanizing your brand. All right. Another way of kind of building that media company as well, too, where you're collaborating, talking to your people that are reviewing you, thanking them, that sort of stuff. This is just a nice way of just kind of setting yourself apart from everybody else. The last piece right here that I want to kind of cover too is that it's hosting a podcast. I've actually hosted 4 podcasts. I currently have a podcast right now that's called Facility Management Marketing Podcast. And this is another way of kind of building that media company where you can position yourself as an expert, where you're teaching and giving knowledge, and you're giving people an ability to start implementing some new strategies as well too. And this is another great way. And then the last piece here, or not last piece, but another piece here is this hosting a speaking event, like this event that we have right now. Hosting speaking events are an opportunity where you can kind of start educating other folks, kind of position yourself as an authority as well too. Leveraging technology is what we use quite a bit. We use HubSpot that to help us with our marketing automation and also help us with our CRM to manage our leads. But then we leverage technology here to where we can have text messages go out and emails go out and call tasks go out. And this is another way of kind of using and leveraging your media company approach, because then all of a sudden you become everywhere in your community. And so these are just some examples of this, like, one of our customers that had their vehicles wrapped. It's just amazing that it looks as though they are just everywhere because it looks professional, but whenever they're driving to their different customers' locations, they seem to be in the community everywhere. Or another vehicle like this. And so in the past, you used to actually have to do this, where you have to write a press release and then submit it to different outlets and then hope that someone would pick it up. And we all know that never really worked. And so today, building a media company hasn't been easier than ever before. One of my friends here, his name is Mason Cosby. He has a podcast. It's called The Marketing Ladder. He interviews a bunch of like C-level type marketers and VP marketers and director of marketers. And essentially, he just asks questions on how to, work up the ladder, if you will. His podcast indirectly actually increased more revenue, about $500,000 for Gravity Global. This podcast is separate from the company that he works for, which is amazing because, again, this is another way of kind of building that media company approach. So it's not really expensive to actually even build a media company, to be quite honest. So myself, yes, I am the CMO, but I leverage different members of my team to help me with different pieces, but I also leverage agencies. So I leverage an ad agency, a video agency, an SEO agency, as well as a design agency. And these are ways of us kind of creating some really cool and fun content that people want to be a part of and actually enjoy. So I'm going to have the team kind of show this next video here so you guys can have an idea what it looks like.
Hi, my name is Daniel Cagle. I'm with DNA Heating and Air. We're out of Lakewood, Colorado, and we've currently been at this location for 2 years. When DNA first started, we started from absolutely nothing here in the Lakewood area. So we wanted to make sure that when we started that we had a presence and that we did things professional and right. That was one of the reasons I started working with Wrapmate, because one, they're very professional. They first did our original truck the first time. I was so impressed with that as the business grew, we bought a van and had it wrapped to match. And then just recently bought another van. The difference in our business that we've seen is doubled within 1 year, which I think a lot of that has to do with Wrapmate support and wrapping the vehicles. And advertising and marketing is very important, especially for a new company. We started doing a lot of Facebook ads. We started doing some Google ads. I hired several different marketing companies to see what they could help us get a presence where the people could find us. And in doing that, one of the things that we found was very important is why we're on a job or we're driving around, for people also to see us and recognize us, especially on a job. Anybody comes up to one of the jobs in the neighborhood, we do a lot of residential. They see the wrap, they see and they know we're professional. I've had people just take a picture of our vehicles and then call us. We've had a lot of people call me up and say, hey, I took a picture at a stop sign, I took a picture of your truck, and I need you to come over and help me with a job. We've been in front of houses. Neighbors have come out, saw our vans come over and say, hey, can you come over and give me an estimate too? And end up getting, 2 or 3 jobs in one neighborhood.
And this is awesome. This video is just motivates me because these are customers that we're helping and they see the impact of what this is going on. And again, he understands the value of the wrap, but on our side, we understand the value of building that media company because it positions us in a different in a different way. And so I'm going to go and dive into this next piece. The last one is going to be the truth about paid ads and how to track, measure, and guarantee an ROI in your advertising. And so my journey of advertising, if you guys love journey, this is a little fun on this one, but my journey of advertising started off with SEO, very big in SEO in 2008, very successful doing that. And then the algorithms got updated in 2012 and things kind of changed. I was very limited in funds, so advertising was kind of tough at times. And so the Wild West of Facebook took place and it produced some insane results in 2015, which was really exciting and fun. So let me kind of show you how this all started. It's like my first ad was Valpak. So if you run like a home service type business, you understand this this whole thing. I spent like $1,000, which I didn't have, okay, for about 3 months worth of advertising, and I might have gotten one client. So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to upgrade. I'm going to upgrade to a direct mailer magazine that goes to like these nicer homes and a better different location. So I'm going to schedule a photo shoot. I'm going to get some clients to pose in pictures, and I'm going to have 6 months in a magazine. I spent like $2,000, and I got 0 ROI out of this. So print ads never really worked for me, and so the Wild West of Facebook really took place. And this is where I spent like $1,000, and I kid you not, I was making like 10K or more on this, and I was just sitting there thinking like, man, I figured out Facebook. This is amazing. And then algorithms got updated once again. And so I struggled to get the same ROI as other businesses in different markets, which was really challenging and tough. And so paid ads is complicated. It's not really an easy thing. Just recently, there's this new metric that a lot of advertisers are using. It's called ROAS, which stands for return on ad spend. And so it's a relatively new metric that people are using. And at minimum, you want to be able to pay for your ads. So if you spend $1, you want to be able to make $1 back. But like the benchmark that you're looking for is to get roughly a 4-to-1 ratio. However, to get to that 4-to-1 ratio, you've got to burn a lot of money. You got to have deep pockets. This is what I mean. Like you've got to run ads consistently to where you have the right type of combination of like the image or video plus the right kind of copy and your right audience and using the right platform. Like there's all this stuff, and it could take you 3, 4, 5, 6 months to just see some sort of ROI, and that's tough. And so, what's the most efficient way to to advertise your business? It's honestly vehicle wraps. And so let me kind of dive into this really deep. And so the ROI on wraps are through the roof. Like the numbers speak for themselves. You can get up to 70,000 daily impressions just on a vehicle wrap. Now think about this. You leave your house in your wrapped vehicle and you're driving to your next job, which is, or actually before you do that, you go get breakfast and then from there you go get gas, and then you're at a few stoplights, you go through a neighborhood, and then you finally go to your first project or your first job that you're doing there. Those places that you're all stopping at your normal daily routine, you get eyeballs for free, essentially. Okay. And quite frankly, like you're getting roughly 7 cents per 1,000 impressions. I can't even get close to this with digital advertising. I'm paying, $10, $15 for 1,000 impressions. And with a wrap, you're only paying roughly 7 cents. I mean, if you had the money to do this, which most of us do, to spend $5 per day to market your business, which is just $150 a month, that's nothing. And the fact that you're able to do this, like, and the ROI behind it, 3,400% ROI on just your vehicle wrap, because you're doing your normal job, just going to normal locations and normal places, and you're just going from project to project every single day. Whether you're parked in front of your neighbor's house or you're parked in front of your customer's house, you're getting that kind of recognition as well too. There's also that 92% brand recognition. I mean, think about this. This is a mobile billboard, okay? It's not something that's static. It's not something that's it's just unique and different, especially if you design it well to where you have like QR codes on there and the right kind of phone number and the right kind of call to actions. It's literally marketing for your business 24/7, 365. And so our customer DNA Heating and Air, who you just saw a video for, they first started off with a simple van that had no branding on it. It was just a blank van. And so before that, they were averaging roughly $3,500 per job. They looked a little unprofessional, unfortunately, and they lost out on a lot of future projects because they would go to a neighborhood that was a white windowless van, and nothing, no one came up to them. But now, after they wrapped their vehicle, their jobs doubled to $7,000 to as much as $30,000. They were building trust and brand recognition within their community. Pictures were being taken of their actual fans everywhere. Like when we did that video, literally someone walked into the parking lot, took a picture of the van and said like, I'll be calling you later. And Dan says like, yeah, that happens to me at least once or twice a day, which is insane to me. Clients are saying, man, we see you guys everywhere. You guys are all over the town, and neighbors are approaching them, and they have two vans in a truck. Very simple approach. And what's I love about this is that this makes them have a bigger presence, but also positions them to be more professional as well too. Or this other company that we did this wrap for, Tires Express. All right, this was really crazy. He was driving up to go pick up his truck and his wrapped trailer. He hasn't seen it yet, and he'd already gotten 6 phone calls because it was parked outside because they couldn't leave it in the bay. 6 phone calls for service. Okay, it's a one-time investment and an endless ROI. Or John here, who we've already talked about him earlier, but he literally was able to pay for his van wrap the same day. Okay, so he picked up his van and then he was out doing his project for another cabinet that he was building. And someone asked about, getting a cabinet installed in their house, and they saw that they saw this van, and John's like, yeah, I install cabinets, all around the community, and basically booked a project right there and then, which is amazing. And Paul here, he wrapped his van during the pandemic, and he would park it at the very front on a very high trafficked street, and cars would be going by, and he got a few catering jobs instantaneously, and then he delivers that obviously in this, and he was able to pay off his investment in like 1 to 2 months. Ben here, he wrote that people are breaking their necks looking at this bad boy drive down the road, and basically was able to get an estimate immediately after he just picked up his truck and started driving to his next project or home. And so we see these stories all the time. Misguided Spirits, they use this as like a really cool brand play, if you will, where it's an extension of their people. Okay, these guys are very retro and eclectic, and then they deliver some really cool bourbon and whiskeys and other stuff and other spirits in this really cool van. And so what's beautiful about this is that you can really make this almost whatever you want. And so the best ROI for advertising your business is with a vehicle wrap. And so the old way of getting a wrap is that you had to call around to get multiple quotes, and then you had to drive to a local shop and then get your vehicle surveyed and then hunt for a graphic designer and then manage the entire process. And then it was just frustrating for customers. So we made it really easy. We made it to 3 easy steps. So step one, you kind of just give us a design goal. And so you kind of say, hey, this is kind of what I'm inspired by. I want something like this. Step two, you just say, hey, okay, I'm going to fill this intake form. We'll send this to you. And our designers, this is Adam, by the way, like we have in-house designers, and we'll start working on it. And they'll start designing exactly what you're looking for based off of what your design inspirations are in the intake form. And then step three, we give you an actual mock-up where we show you exactly what it looks like on your van, on your truck, on anything that you can imagine. So what's amazing about this is that this helps you kind of get a better visualization as well too. And so you can get endless wrap designs, which is just fun to see what these companies are doing, what these brands are doing, just to kind of increase their awareness within their community. And so it's just really just different way of just kind of advertising and marketing. And so what I want to do is I want to kind of share a quick little disclaimer. I got to be honest with you. Your mileage may vary. Okay. So if you live in a smaller market, you're not going to get as many eyeballs. All right. But you live in a bigger market, you're going to probably get more eyeballs. But most of our customers do get a 34% ROI just using this strategy. So what I want to do is I want to give you guys the gift where we basically give out an opportunity for you to kind of get a project done with us. And so we typically charge $299 to do a project deposit. All right. This is 100% refundable, where you guys can literally just, invest to see what it looks like to have your design done. You're like, wow, this is amazing. And then what you can do from there is move forward with it. If you're like, you know what, I don't want to do this, we'll refund your money 100% guaranteed. But if you use this discount code, we'll discount it down to $199. So you get $100 off of it. Okay. So I got a question that came in here really quick. I'm going to answer that. I'm going to leave the screen right here. Is anyone watching experiencing the ROI from wraps on your vehicles? So here's the thing. There's different ways on how you can kind of see this. A lot of our customers, they do QR codes and they do a specific phone number on there as well too. And that's how they actually start tracking that. And so whenever someone calls a specific phone number or scans a QR code that goes to a number or goes to a website, they start tracking that. Other times they literally just track it themselves. And so this is another way of just kind of helping people understand that like you can track your own metrics, if you will, by just saying we got 5 people that took pictures of this and said that, hey, we're going to be calling you guys. And so that's pretty much one of the questions there that people were kind of asking and curious and how you can kind of track the performance of these wraps. But hope you guys understand the importance of getting your vehicles wrapped. If you enjoyed this, and if you have any questions, please let me know.